Hey guys, Way here, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to bring you guys something a little bit different to normal. I asked you guys on Twitter to send me a picture of your current side on Ultimate Team, and I said I'd pick a few and rate and review them, and that's exactly what I'm doing today. If you guys do enjoy this type of video, leave a like, and if you want to be featured in a second part of this video, my Twitter can be found down below in the description. We're going to go through every single team that was sent in to me, and the first one is an amazing team in the 4-3-2-1 formation. I'm not sure if he plays it like this in game or swaps to the 4-2-3-1, he didn't clarify, but it's a very, very nice team, especially defensively. I don't think you could find a much better defense on this game. Alex Telles, arguably the best left back on the game, especially from a defensive point of view. Trent Alexander-Arnold, arguably the best right back. Team of the season, Van Dijk, arguably the best centre back, and the same can be said for Eder Militao. He's also got Prime Hullet, who's amazing. Prime Ronaldinho, who is a lot of fun. The players I'll be looking to upgrade there, although they're not urgent upgrades because they're still very good players, would be Fernandinho for a better defensive option. You could go with any Brazilian there. I'm trying to think. There aren't too many Brazilian defensive midfielders on this game. Maybe you could go with the Champions League road to the final version of Fabinho. His stats are even better than someone like Prime Vieira. He has got some crazy stats, but I haven't used him myself. Or you could go for someone like Prime Vieira in that role, or maybe someone like Prime Mateus, for example, as a slightly better defensive midfield option. Eriksen, I haven't used myself, but I think there are better options than Eriksen. If you're looking for a Premier League attacking midfielder, Team of the Year Kevin De Bruyne would be the one I'd go for. Arguably the best attacking midfielder on the game. So if you can afford him, I would try and get him in there. And I'm not really too sure on Sterling, just because of his weak foot. He doesn't have the best of shooting ability, so maybe someone like Salah or even someone like Best, for example, or another icon that could be worked in there. But overall, very, very nice team, especially defensively. And looking at the bench, there are some insane players down there, Cristiano Ronaldo being one of them. So now let's move on to the next team, and this is a bit of an interesting one. He's got some different players in there. He's got Moments, is that Team of the Season Moments, Casemiro, who is a card I've not seen many people use, but has some nice stats. Player of the Month, Aubameyang, very good. Fernandinho, very nice. I love the defence in this team. Ramos and Blanc is the partnership I use at the back, and they're amazing. Alonso, one of the best left backs in the game. Juan Fran is a player that I'd probably try and phase out now, as he was very good in the early stages of the game, but now isn't quite as good as a lot of the other players you could potentially use there. Although in La Liga there aren't too many good right back options. You've got Navas as the only other real one with a Team of the Season card. So maybe you could go with someone like Informed DeMarcos, but again, not quite the standard you'd want. So that would be the only upgrade I'd be looking for, would be a right back, and I'm not too sure because La Liga, as I said, just doesn't really have too many options. So you can maybe go with an icon in that position. But Juan Fran is still a decent player. He's got Mane as a striker, and I've heard a lot of good things about Mane. So I can't really argue with that one there. Perez and Figo, two good players. They're not the most meta or best of players though. So you could maybe be looking at someone I'd probably put Mane where Perez is, and then I'd try and get a better striker. So you could get an icon, even a slightly cheap one like Cliver, who's not super expensive, but is still very, very good, the Prime Moments version of him. Or if you could, maybe someone like Eusebio, for example, would be a very, very nice potential upgrade there. Or someone like Cruyff, and then you could use Aubameyang up front. So that's what I'd look to do. I'd probably play Mane on the left hand side and get yourself a better striker, or play Aubameyang as your striker and then get yourself a better cam. Casemiro and Fernandinho are decent. I think you could maybe find some better options there. Someone like Vieira, for example, if you're looking for some very meta options. Maybe Team of the Year Kante on the left-hand side. Maybe someone like Team of the Year De Bruyne. And then, right back is a tricky one just because there aren't too many options in La Liga. Ter Stegen is good, but I would probably go with Oblak as well. His Team of the Season is absolutely insane. Next up, we've got a bit of a different team here. It's really cool seeing different people's teams. So he's gone with Podolski up front, which is a little bit of an interesting call. The flashback Podolski. Not the type of player I would personally use. I mean, you've got the choice of any striker really on this game. I assume he plays 4-2-3-1. I'd say probably Wijnaldum and Ballack as the CDMs. Neither of them are out and out proper defensive midfielders, so maybe if you could swap out Wijnaldum potentially for a better Premier League defensive midfielder. That could be something to do. Obviously, you've got Walker and Sandro in there. They have better versions. Well, you've got better Premier League right backs for sure. You could get someone like Alexander-Arnold. I would go with him. The best version of him you can get. And then on the left-hand side, I'd probably go with Alex Telles or even the flashback version of Alexandro. Fabian Schär's an interesting one. I would try and get Van Dijk in there. And then, yeah, up front, you can go with any striker. So you've got a lot of options. I'd maybe go with Mbappe as a right forward there, or maybe use flashback Ibrahimovic, who you've got down on the bench. 100% I'd use flashback Ibra there, or if you can afford him, Cristiano Ronaldo. But an interesting team, a nice one. It's nice to see not everyone using the same meta players. This guy has got a lot of meta players, a very, very solid defence. Again, I would say upgrade Sandro to a better version of him. Flashback is about 450k and probably the best all-round left-back on the game. Very nice defence, although Alisson, I've not heard a lot of good stuff about him, but Van Dijk's very good, Doherty's good, Cannavaro is surprisingly good despite being short, Balak's good, Best is good, Bernardo Silva is pretty decent, Ronaldo is of course Ronaldo, Hazard is good. Kante, I think at this stage of the game, is the type of player you want to gradually kind of phase out of your team. He's a little bit small and not good enough going forwards compared to a lot of the other defensive midfielders you could potentially get on this game. So maybe you could bring in, I'm not sure, what I might do is get Team of the Year De Bruyne instead of Bernardo Silva and play him as a striker to link into Hazard, and then I'd get someone like Vieira in the midfield or just a more defensive physical presence in that specific position. You could get Fabinho as well, but obviously you wouldn't get that link into Ronaldo. But I'd probably rather use either Hazard or Ronaldo slightly off chemistry to have a better defensive midfielder than Kante, just because the issue with Kante is that he's quite small, so he gets out jumped in the air all the time, and when he gets into the final third, he really doesn't offer anything because of his shooting ability. So either an icon or just a better defensive option from the Premier League, like Fabinho, could be a good option there. And then obviously you can upgrade the likes of Sandro in your team as well. He's got Kimmich too, but yeah, finds him too slow. Moving down then, this is this guy's team, and he moves to this in-game. So interestingly, you've got lots of different players moving around there. Alisson, I'd be looking to upgrade to the Team of the Season version. Robertson, very, very nice option there. Cancelo, very nice. And he's using the right mid version for chemistry. If not, I'd say go to the Team of the Season. Jesus is an interesting one. I've used him as a good card, but I think you can definitely get better options. Maybe look someone like Team of the Season Chiellini, for example, and then you'd have to rework your goalkeeper. Maybe get an icon goalkeeper or something. Lehmann is a good option. Van der Sar is a good option. Van der Sar would get the link into Van Dijk and is also very cheap for an icon. But yeah, I'd try and get Jesus out your team at this stage of the game. Not quite at the level you want. Florenzi, CDM, good option. I mean, there are probably better ones, but he's got a nice card. De Rossi, again, good option. There are probably better though because of his stamina and pace. Not amazing, so you could be looking at someone either from the Team of the Season in the Serie A or maybe some icons. Wijnaldum's a good one. Nedved is good. I've used his card. I have him as an untradeable, but I've now moved him out of my team just because he was annoying me. His finishing wasn't quite up to scratch, so possibly you could try and get a better icon instead. Maybe Ronaldinho, for example, in that role. Dembele's a nice card. A lot of fun to use. And then Van Basten, if you like that type of player, it's very good. He's a very clinical player. Obviously, there are better options, but if you can't quite afford them, he is definitely a good one to go with. So overall, pretty decent team. Moving down, this is this guy's team in game. This is a very, very good team. Struggling to find any improvements here, apart from Halstenberg. Now, I've got Halstenberg in my club. I got him from an SBC, and he's good. But I think Schultz is probably a better option. He's a lot quicker, and I think he's got better defending and better going forward. So he'd be an option I'd look for. Defensively, I mean, it's a very, very solid defense apart from him. Maybe you could bring out David Luiz for someone like Prime Moments Blanc, for example, or Maldini if you can work him in there, but very good player nevertheless. Lacazette's a good one, Kluivert's good, obviously Hullet's amazing, Goretzka's great, I've got him in my team. Firmino's great as well, Mane's great. I think maybe Kluivert as your winger lacks a little bit of pace, so maybe you could look to eventually get someone like Eusebio or maybe Cruyff as a potential upgrade there. But nevertheless, very, very nice team indeed right there. Next, we've got this guy who subs Ibrahimovic on as his striker, and he's not showed the rest of his team, I don't think, unless he sent another picture, and he hasn't. So yeah, I'm not really too sure what to say here. He's got Rice, Sissoko, and Arnautovic in there, so not the best of options. But yeah, I really can't see his team, so can't really comment on that one. Next up, we've got this guy right here. A little bit of a different team. Eder Militao and Telles, like that a lot. Fernandez, good player, like that. Keane, I wouldn't really go near. Jonas, I wouldn't really go near because of his stamina and pace. Pizzi, no. Perez, Eriksson, I mean, I'm not sure what formation this guy plays in game. I hope he doesn't play this specific formation because he literally doesn't have a defensive midfielder. I assume Keane plays as a defensive midfielder, but then I don't know where the other two play. Aurier's good. But yeah, a little bit strange. I would personally just go with any other like good striker and then a right winger that links into them. So like Ronaldo, for example, and then you could get a player from the Serie A on that right hand side. If you can afford someone like Ronaldo, I mean, you could sell Pizzi for a little bit unless he's from an SBC or something. Just try and get the best striker you can. It could be an icon. It could be someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. It could be someone like Aubameyang, for example. And then you just want to get the best right wing you can that links in. But I like the defence. The midfield, I'm not entirely sure how he works that out. So I'm struggling to see there. And then, yeah, Perez is okay, but I think you can definitely upgrade. Maybe to someone like Ronaldinho if you've got the coins. Next up, we've got a team which is kind of glitched out a little bit. So he's got some really good players in there and then some interesting ones. So ter Stegen, as I said, I would probably go with Oblak instead just because he's the best keeper in the game in my opinion. Alba, you've got an upgrade to him. You can go with a better version of him, but Alba's good. Dembele, you've got another upgrade available there, obviously to his blue card. Hermoso has got a really nice card in terms of pace and stuff, but he's just very short, which is a bit of an issue. And Ramos isn't the tallest himself either. So I'd try and probably go with Varane or an icon. Varane brings that height to your team. I would try and get an icon in there though. Someone like Blanc would be a good option, just because you've got quite a short centre-back partnership there, and your fullbacks aren't the tallest either. Navas isn't the best defensively, but I mean, if you're looking for right-backs in La Liga, there aren't too many options. Messi is obviously a great player there. I'm not entirely sure if this guy plays 4-4-2 in game, but if that Messi is tradable, I'd probably sell Messi and then try and upgrade like Alba, Dembele, and like upgrade the rest of your team with the coins that Messi is worth, which is a lot of coins. Cazorla and Partey in midfield, I mean, they're fun players, especially Cazorla with the 5-star, but they're not that meta. I'd try and just mix this up. I'd hybridize your team out. I'd try and get some more meta players in there, unless you're using these players because they're untradeable maybe. But I think you've got a lot of upgrades to potentially make. Van Basten and Inaki Williams, though, two decent cards. But yeah, I think Dembele, Cazorla, Partey, Alba, Hermoso, Navas, they're all types of players you could very easily upgrade. Now moving down, we've got this guy that plays 4-2-3-1 in game. Now this is a very nice team. Telles, love that. David Luiz, like that. Doherty is good, I like him. Laporte, I mean, I guess he's from an SBC or something, but I would try my best to get Van Dijk in there, the best version of Van Dijk you can. The team of the season obviously being the best one. Socrates, Eusebio, Mateus, Ronaldinho, Ibra, love all of them. Goretzka, very nice. I assume he plays Mateus and Goretzka as the CDMs, and then maybe Eusebio on the right and Socrates at cam. So yeah, I love everything about that midfield and attack. Just defensively, I would try my best to get Van Dijk, and then Alexander-Arnold potentially as well for the chemistry in the defence. But apart from that, very, very nice team, one of the best we've seen so far. Now this guy, a little bit of a different team. He's got Pele, he's got Vieira, love that. Defence looking very, very nice. Obviously, you've got the upgrades to like Team of the Season Van Dijk and stuff, which is obvious, but very nice defence with the players he's got. Vieira, very nice. Pele, very nice. Benzema actually has really nice stats. I've not used him, but he looks like he could be very good. Lacazette, I can see why you're using him there. Mkhitaryan, nice card. Overall, very, very good team. I'd maybe try and get a better defensive midfielder instead of Fernandinho because he lacks a little bit in terms of pace and stamina, but in the Premier League, there aren't too many options, so it would probably be an icon that you'd go for. But yeah, very nice team. Very, very big fan of that one. This is the guy that I think said he subbed Ibra on. I mean, I'm not sure who his right back is, but you've got a lot of upgrades there. Davinson Sanchez is by no means an endgame player in the slightest. You need someone like Van Dijk in there. Felipe, you want to be getting him out for anyone you can, really. I mean, if you're going with that Brazilian theme, then why not get Eder Militao and Telles if you can afford them? I mean, I assume this guy can't afford them. He's got 38k and not the best of teams, so he's not going to be getting those amazing players. But they're the types of players I try and grind towards getting, You need to get a better version of Fabinho at this stage of the game. It could be a team of the season card like Fernandinho. It could be one of the special versions of Fabinho. It could be an icon if you can stretch to that. But yeah, a lot of big upgrades coming here. Also, Sissoko as a cam is very questionable. I'd probably play Sissoko where you've got Fabinho, and then try and get a better cam. Like you could get the gold version of De Bruyne, for example, right there. But yeah, a lot of upgrades to work towards there. Another team here. I like the defense a lot. I actually really like that company card. He's a little bit slow, but he's a beast defensively and dominates the air. He's underrated. He's so good. So I like the defense. He's got Van Nistelrooy, who I assume he moves up to striker and plays Royce cam and then plays 4-2-3-1. So Ballack and Fernandinho. Decent defensive midfield partnership. Robin, and I've not used that Robin card, but he looks good. Robin and Hazard on the wings, nice. Royce, nice. And then, yeah, Van Nistelrooy I'm not entirely sure on. He's only got 3-star skills, I believe, so it wouldn't be my cup of tea. But if you like him, then good, and obviously gets that link into Robin. I'd probably try and get a slightly better striker. You could get Ronaldo and link him into Cancelo at right back, get the team of the season Cancelo or something like that. I know David Luiz would be off chem, but Ronaldo I think would be a big upgrade in there if you could somehow work that out. Okay, then moving on, next team. This is probably the best team we've had so far. It is the best team we've had so far by far. The defence, unbelievable. You've got Maldini, Carlos, Van Dijk, Cancelo, and De Gea. Team of the year De Gea as well. Team of the year Kante. You've got prime moments, I think that is Mateus. You've got prime Hullet, prime R9 Ronaldo. You've obviously got ones to watch Ronaldo and Eriksen. I would try and upgrade Eriksen, but I assume he's from an SBC. And I would probably get the team of the season version of any players you can. So if you can get Van Dijk, get him. Cancelo would be an obvious one. Or you could get someone like Alexander-Arnold, for example, who'd link into your Kante and get him on full cam. Or you could get team of the season Lala. I would probably go with the team of the season Lala when he comes out. Put him as your right back when I'm recording this video, though. He's yet to come out. And then, yeah, try and upgrade your Eriksen card. I'm not sure how he plays this in game, if it's exactly like this with Eriksen out wide or not. But you could get someone like team of the season Aguero or any other striker from the Premier League to play there, or try and eventually get Eusebio or Cruyff to play in that specific role there. That's what I'd be looking to do. You could even sell Kante and get maybe someone like Fabinho, who's a lot cheaper, and then sell Eriksen, and that would free up enough to easily get someone like Eusebio, maybe the middle version of him, into your team. But very nice. Best team we've had so far. This team is decent. A lot of reds in there, a lot of untradables. That Del Piero card I'd try and upgrade just because at this stage of the game he isn't the best of players. The Benzema card's nice. Defense is solid, but you can upgrade that for sure. Better versions of Van Dijk, better right backs in the Premier League. Even someone like team of the season Wan-Bissaka. You've got Doherty, you've got Alexander-Arnold, and you've got Aurier. All big upgrades there. Halstenberg, I can see why he's using him. Rudiger, I mean, again, I can see why he's using him, but I would try and maybe get someone like Blanc in there. I'm not sure if he plays like this in game or plays a 4-2-3-1 or something like that. But yeah, overall, decent team, and I can see why he's using all those players because they are red. So very lucky with that luck there. We've got a very icon-based team here. Not the best of icons, though, that's the thing. He's got Ter Stegen, good. Carlos, very good. Desai, very good. Hierro, not the best. You could upgrade there, maybe someone like Blanc, or given that you've got icons, you've just got so many options. I'd probably try and get a Van Dijk in there, to be honest, to link into your Alonso. Makelele and Gerrard and Petit, they're all good icons. They're not amazing, but I use that Petit card. He is solid. Yeah, obviously, I assume they're all from SBCs, but I'd have probably held out on trying to get some of those players. Maybe got someone like Vieira or Hullet instead, but they're like your obvious upgrades there. Ones to watch Ronaldo, amazing. Obviously, Socrates, amazing. Best, amazing. Very good team, and there are obvious upgrades you can make if you can afford them, but they will cost a lot, and you only have 4K, so not going to be happening too soon, I don't think. Moving down, this is arguably the best team. I think this is maybe the most meta team we've seen so far. I assume he plays 4-2-3-1 in game. Player of the year Van Dijk, team of the season Cancelo, team of the season Telles and Blanc. I'd struggle to find a better defence than that on this game. Ederson in goal, I really like Ederson. Hullet and Vieira, two of the best midfielders by far on this game. Neymar inform Neymar and Best on the wings. Very, very nice. Then I assume he plays Eusebio at Cam and Ronaldo up front. That is a perfect team. What do you want me to say? Team of the year Neymar, obviously you can upgrade to him. And I literally can't even see anything else. Yeah, you could get team of the season or team of the year Ronaldo, but that is probably the best team we've seen so far. Very, 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 very good, very meta. Scroll down here. Okay, bit of a different team here. He's got Milinkovic-Savic. He's got Bobby Moore, Lenglet, Courtois, Wijnaldum, Sissoko, Mbappe, Richarlison. I've no idea. Does he play 4-2-3-1 in game, I guess? I mean, I'd just try and get anyone instead of Richarlison. You could get team of the season Dembele. That would be a good link into Sissoko. Not that I'd want to use Sissoko, though. Sissoko's not very good. I mean, you've got a lot of upgrades there. Try and get Richarlison and Sissoko out your team. Seedorf's not the best. Bobby Moore's not the best, but they are obviously good. You've got better options obviously available. But I'd try and get Sissoko and Richarlison out for there. I'm not entirely sure how he plays this, but maybe someone like Team of the Year Kante, maybe someone like Hazard on the left, maybe someone like Dembele, but you've got a lot of options there, but not too many coins to upgrade, I don't think. Next up is Grossi's team. This guy, I've opened packs on his account before. Very nice in a lot of areas. I really like the centre-back partnership. Solid defence. You've got better left-back options, though. Maybe you could swap round. I mean, Valencia is good, but you can maybe get team of the season Dumfries if you put Van Dijk and Zanetti on the other side. And then left-back, I mean, I think there are better options than Digne, Robertson being the main one. Alisson, I've already said, isn't the best. And then I think Eriksen's probably not the best wide cam. I'd play Rashford as your wide cam and Eriksen in the middle. I'm not sure which players are tradable or untradeable here. I know he's got like Messi and Hazard, lots of good players down on the bench. He's got Doherty, loads of good bench players down there. Pretty crazy. I'd probably try and upgrade your wide cams to pacier players. Maybe even play Lacazette as one of your wider cams and then get a better Premier League striker. Or even use Hazard as a left forward up front and then play him where Eriksen is or where Rashford is. But overall, nice team. Very Premier League themed. This team here, very, very nice. All round, the defence is unbelievable. You're going to struggle to find a better defence than that this game. Very, very nice midfield. I assume he plays 4-4-2 in game, actually. Maybe lacking a little bit of defensive midfield. You only really have that one box-to-box midfielder and then an attacking midfielder. So I still don't even know where you'd upgrade there. You maybe would want to potentially get Havertz where Ben Yedder is and then get Vieira in midfield. Just because then you'd play a different formation, but you'd have more balance, you'd have more defensive balance. But overall, very, very, very good team. Then we've got a little bit of a very different team here. Defence, big upgrades needed there. Van Aanholt is good, but I mean Robertson, something like that. Better options there. Right back, what is he doing? Get Florenzi. Get the best player you can there. Calabria would work for chemistry. Even Cancelo. I'd much rather use Cancelo and then sacrifice a bit of chemistry on De Rossi. Di Maria, no, he's got too so weak foot. I'd try and get him out your team. Maybe play Mbappe as a right forward up front and then play a different right winger. Tevez, again, no. You've got a lot of players that I would definitely be upgrading there. I've already talked about Jesus, Alisson, players like that. Lots of upgrades, but you only have 77 coins, which isn't looking amazing when it comes to upgrades. This team here, very strange in some areas, very good in some areas. Ibra's great, Stoichkov's great, Crespo's decent, Rashford's decent, Schweinsteiger, no, Fred, no way, Yedlin, no way, Rudiger and Kepa, no way. So a strange balance. I assume those icons are untradeable. If any of them are tradable, sell them immediately, because you've got very good players next to very average players. So I'd rather sell Stoichkov, get maybe his baby version, and then upgrade to players like Kante, maybe one of the team of the season right backs, a better version of Van Dijk, a better centre back next to him, and a better goalkeeper. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I assume a lot of those icons are probably untradeable. These two maybe from the baby icon SBCs possibly. Okay, I've got a lot of teams here. This one is very nice defensively, very, very solid. Midfield is nice. Lacking a bit of defensive midfield though. I'm not sure what this guy does in the defensive midfield because he only really has Vieira and then he's got two attacking players. So I'm not entirely sure what to say because I'm not sure how he plays this team. But by the look of it, how it is here with the players he's got, a lot of attacking options here, 5 attackers and 1 defender with Vieira. So I'm not entirely sure how he lines the team up, but if it is a formation like the 4-2-3-1, then I'd be looking for definitely a better defensive option. Instead of like one of these guys, I'd be looking for someone like Vieira, for example. Okay, we've got a lot of teams. A lot more to go, I think. This team very solid defensively. I mean, yeah, he's lacking a lot of chemistry. Only 86 chem. I assume it's all because of untradables. But yeah, like player for player, this defense is unbelievable, but lacking a lot in terms of chemistry. So I'd get Adair Militao, and that would sort your chemistry for these two, and obviously get him on full chem. But then you wouldn't have Van Dijk. But that's the issue with having a lot of untradables. Muller's, yeah, I mean, it's just a weird one because he has very, very low chemistry. So although Van Dijk's sick, I would try and get, I'd try and get Adair Militao in there. And then, I'm not sure, maybe play Casemiro further forwards for chemistry and then move Van Dijk into midfield or something. I'm not sure, but lacking with chemistry. This team, nice defence. Right back and right centre back, very, very good. Laporte's good. Maybe try and upgrade your left back to someone like Robertson. Nice midfield. I assume these two are CDM. And then maybe like, I don't know, or does he just play like this in game? Probably plays like this in game, actually. I mean, obviously, yeah, you can upgrade like Aspas to maybe Ben Yedder or someone, for example. But yeah, overall, very nice. You can maybe swap him around and go with a Premier League striker. But again, a lot of these teams are built with untradables, so it's hard for people to upgrade. He says here that he plays Meunier, Witsel, CDM, and Cruiser up front. A little bit of a different team. Like I like the defence, but there are obviously better options. Van Dijk would be a big upgrade. Witsel, team of the season, obvious upgrade. De Bruyne's got better versions, so obvious upgrades there. Silva, I mean, I think at this stage of the game, there are definitely better options. Silva's never really been that good on FIFA. Cruiser, you've got better options like Havertz and people to upgrade to. But I see what you're saying. It's a nice balanced team. This team here, okay. So in game, I'm assuming what's he doing in game? Kante CDM and then maybe Firmino at cam and Banega at centre mid, something like that. Love the defence, very solid, very nicely balanced defence. And then I assume does he play Figo? Maybe Figo at cam and then Firmino up front. I'm not entirely sure how he plays that, but a lot of good players in there. I think your midfield is lacking a lot of height though. I'd try and upgrade there because you've got, I think, 3 midfielders who are all 5'7", which isn't the best, and only one defensive option in there. Okay, this guy here, he's got players you've not seen in any of these other teams, and Babu, Gomez, Delaney. Some interesting options. I'm not sure if he plays it like this in game. He probably plays 4-2-3-1 because Firmino is more of a cam. I mean, these two very nicely well-balanced midfielders, 2 good wingers. Maybe Havertz plays as the cam and then Firmino up front and then solid defence as well. Maybe try and get in at right back, get Da Costa. He'd be an upgrade there and would be on better chemistry. But overall, nice team. This guy started his game a month ago because he got banned. It's a decent team for a month of the game, but a lot of upgrades obviously. I mean, you've got all the gold cards you want to upgrade to better versions, and then Eggstein you don't want. You want, I mean, I guess he kind of has to use Schultz because he's probably an untradeable, and there aren't too many good centre-backs in the Bundesliga. I'd maybe try and go with a Bundesliga centre-mid instead, because like move Eggstein up to centre-mid, and then try and go like with some maybe Royce and players like that there. Just because as a centre back, he's not a centre back. He isn't a centre back. So a lot of upgrades there. I think these players are probably untradeable. So I'd try and just sell these guys here and just build a whole new team from scratch and look and build it around some more meta players. This team here is just trash. We're not going to bother commenting on that one. This team here, Godin and Ramos centre back partnership, Semedo, Alba, David Silva, Rodri, Sarabia. I'd be looking to upgrade David Silva for sure to, I mean, he kind of needs a Spanish midfielder to link into link into Villa, but just look for any Spanish midfielder from the team of the season, and most of them will be better, or even someone like Aspas that you could use to link into him. Rodri isn't the best, neither Sarabia, but I can understand why he's using them. They're probably from SBCs. But yeah, try and upgrade David Silva. Try and get a better icon cam. You could get Raul, who would then link into Villa and get him on full cam. You've got a few options there, but try and get a better icon instead of Hadji. Maybe just don't use Villa. Maybe use a team of the season card up front instead, and then try and upgrade David Silva. And then if you can, try and upgrade those blues too. Next up, a bit of a different team here. Lots of Liga NOS players. Demirbay is decent. Felipe, I would try and upgrade Felipe. And Juan Jesus and Sandro. Better version of Sandro. Maybe like team of the season Chiellini or any team of the season from the Serie A. Then I guess that needs to link into Alisson. Felipe is quite slow. I'd try and get to Eder Militao, but again, I assume it's because he's from an SBC. I mean, it's hard to say, like, when these cards are untradeable, you can see where you're using them, but there are obvious upgrades available. But these Liga NOS players here, I mean, João Felix doesn't have the skill moves. These guys aren't amazing. I'd maybe try and use Fernandes off the bench and build a slightly different kind of front three. But again, I can fully see why he's using that team. It's nice to see something a little bit different. Very solid defence there. You'd struggle to find a better defence this year. Very nice defensive midfield partnership. I assume he plays 4-2-3-1. And then probably these guys on the wing, him at Cam and Jovic up front. Lovely team. Really, really like that. Defensively, very nice. Defensive midfield, very nice. Wingers, very, very good as well. You've got the skills and everything. Let me know how good Jovic is, because he's got a nice card. But I see he's got Suarez down here. I assume he's playing him because he's better than Suarez. But yeah, like you've got Suarez and Mbappe, who I would probably rather use over Jovic just because of the lack of skills with Jovic. Okay, this guy plays this in game. I don't like Sissoko or Kante, to be honest, at this stage of the game, but I can see why he's using them for chemistry and everything. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Sissoko. I've used him. I ended up using him in an SPC. So they're the types of players I'd upgrade to players I've already mentioned throughout this video. And then you've got like better versions of some of these players. Lucas, I think at this stage of the game, you've got to get out. He's got no stamina at all and no weak foot, so you want to be looking for any other Premier League option there. How many more teams do we have? I don't know how long this video is going to be. This team here is interesting, different options. Just trying to work out how he plays this in game. There's one defensive midfielder here, Vidal. There's one defensive midfielder, and then there's like 4 strikers and a cam. So try and get more defensive options in your midfield. You need at least 2 defensive midfielders here. They need to be good defenders. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how he plays that. And then finally, we're not going to go down to more stuff just because I've already looked at so many teams. We've got this one here, which is solid. I like the defence. Haps isn't the type of play you typically see. I think maybe in the Eredivisie team of the season there could be some better options there, or you could swap it round and go with Dumfries at right back, and then you could go with any left back of your choice with your icons there. Mane, really like. Raul, yeah, but you've got upgrades available. Best is good. Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho, decent, yeah. Maybe, again, as I've talked about upgrades for Fernandinho, you've got someone like Fabinho or Vieira. But there we go. That is going to be a very long video, but hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you want to see a part 2 to this, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks to everyone who sent their teams in. I know it's not the type of video I typically upload, but I'm away in Thailand when you're watching this, and I needed to get a lot of videos scheduled ahead of time, and this is just one of a whole load of them. So if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you later. Take care.